Hello, Elizabeth. Gavin, hello there. The Inheritor says, Good morning, Mehran. Gavin says, Male 26 US. And Inheritor says, Male 16 Ireland. Top of the morning to you. That's my Irish. Juan says, Hello, Mr. from Long Beach, California. All right, but what about the age and gender? So, male, age, then LA. Is Long Beach really a long beach, or they just call it because it's kind of a short beach and they just want to boast? All right. Now, can you guys hear me okay? The volume is all right? Because it's funny that when I check every other microphone that I connect or its choice on my laptop, it shows there's input level. But when I use the Scarlett, this one, it says the device has no input control. So I hope the input level is high enough, because every time I finish the live talk, when I check, it's kind of the noise, the sound is low, so I have to put it into my iMovie and increase the sound waves and then upload it again. So as long as you guys can hear it okay. And yes, Juanpa, pura vida, he says, and I say the same, pura vida, Juanpa. Male 23, Costa Rica, says, Mehran. Gavin says, protocol on tea. There it is. This is a new tea, not a new tea, the tea that was my favorite for a long time, till Sandy sent me some amazing tea from UK, and then that superseded this one, and now I ran out of that, and I found a full box of this, which it was to my enjoyment, because I didn't have the right tea today, but this is perfect. It is actually it's from Twining. It's pomegranate and raspberry. It's rose hips, hibiscus, pomegranate and raspberry. Flavors naturally fortified, orange leaves, apple spices, licorice root, roasted chicory root. Perhaps is similar to the one I received from Sandy, but of course that one was far better quality, no doubt. But this is also a very good tea. I like it. I don't know, maybe you guys would like this one over the one that I received, but personally I prefer that one. I think that was a better tasting tea for me. And Juanpa says, Mehran, you're officially an influencer. Oh, am I? Says, because thanks to you, I bought a Taylor C. Taylor C from Amazon. I hope they're good. It is a box with different types of tea. Oh, I see. That's a mixture one. The one that I have is only chamomile, and I think their chamomile is one of the best chamomile I think I've had. And sometimes I buy chamomile loose, the flowers, and then just put it in a tea bag, non-bleached tea bag out of Germany, and then I put the hot water on it, and so on and so forth. Yeah, let's just imagine if we can get some sponsors from these tea companies, we got it made. We'll have enough money to do stuff, perhaps. Who knows? But my audience is small. look, with all the hoopla, there's only 6 people here. and and Juan says, is the longest beach in the southern coast. It runs all the way to Baja, California, and Mexico. Ah, thank you. All right then. This tea is really good. Really good. Hits the spot. Perfect. Wow. I haven't had it for so long. By Twining of London. Oh, Twining of London. All good tea seems to be coming from London, UK. Well, this is certainly a winner. But unfortunately, I didn't have enough distilled water to fill the cup to the rim. That's my last cup till I get some. Because I don't like to brew tea with the tap water, even though Vancouver tap water is good compared to many places in the world. We have the acidic level of, I think, but whatever, it's a pretty good water comparing, but not as good as like Evian or things like that that I love to drink. The up to a limit, I guess the higher the pH balance is, like over 7, 8, 9. 8, 9 is great. And of course the tap water is never with that kind of a pH. And because they're acidic, they also eat into the pipes as they travel their way to our homes. And that's why it is always possible to have a bit of a metal in water, microscopic levels. That's why either good to have a filter or, whatever. But anyhow, Vancouver water is good. Tea out there is all made by tap water, and it's all good. I drink it everywhere. But at home, I try to be fussy. And Helmina Pasco says, hi, good morning. Good morning, dear. What about info? Remember, guys, gender, age, where you tuning in from? I need that. Please. Please be kind. Now, 7 of us here. I know we haven't said much yet, but if you like what you see, the live talk, at least the beginning, click on like before you forget. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. I think I have a carpal tunnel syndrome since a day or two ago because I've been changing all the tags. I've changed tags on hundred of the videos, the most popular videos with the highest viewers. The tags were all over the place. I couldn't believe it. Everything that had to do with breakup, advice, and all that, I had shoved it in the tags. I got 30 tags for a video. And everything relevant, but not relevant necessarily to the title. So I cleaned them all out and just put tags that pertaining the title of the video. And shortened the title, used what Jeremy helped me to use, the program called what is it? Keywords Everywhere. So I use the Keywords Everywhere program and then put in the title of my videos and figured out how many people are searching for it or not, and then modified it a little bit to the best possible choices. And then I did make that modification to all the playlists. So I finished the playlists, 86 playlists. My wrist is hurting because constantly doing the same thing, like, and I've done the tags for 100 videos. So let's see if we can make a change. Anyhow, let's get to business here. Emmanuel says, hello there. Hello, Emmanuel. Male 27, Boston. Thank you for that. Gavin says, Mehran, do you ever drink English Indian tea? Well, I would like to. The smell is great. The chai. You're talking about the chai, I believe, huh? And I've bought some of them because the aroma and the spices are so wonderful. But because they have sugar in it, it tastes too sweet. I don't like sweet tasting tea, and I've been kind of pretty focused on not taking sugar that I don't need in, especially because I drink lots of tea, so I don't want to get hooked on that. That's why I haven't. So I haven't had the chance to experience that. Emmanuel says, "What a shame. Such a few minutes ago, I was crying thinking about my ex. I know it sounds pathetic, but even after 7 months after the breakup, this is happening to me." Well, it is normal because most of us haven't figured out why is it that we feel depressed after a breakup. We always think it's the girl. It's a combination of things. Partly is the girl, the order that we talked about, the mechanical process, the mind finding solace and relaxation and security in the order. Now, the order of things, how things were, the routine of things was created by both of you, is broken. So, mind doesn't have a place to hang its hat and relax and call it home and find security in it. It's roaming around, doesn't know where the routine is to settle in, because the mind is not like any other limb or any part of our body have a place in the body. Mind has no place in the body until, of course, you read my book, Me, My Psyche, and I, and know how to train the mind and where the place of the mind is in the body to become fully coordinated with the body and become one unit. But until then, this is what most people are going through. So that is part of it. The other part is that you have not, most people have not separated the intimacy from who the girl is, was, and is. In other words, when you think about your ex, you're not thinking about who she is. You're thinking about pleasure. You identify your ex with pleasure, not with her personality, her conditioning the consciousness, her entity, her persona, her center, who she is. You don't see any of that. What you see is the intimacy, the pleasure that you receive from that relationship, which is, again, focused on intimacy. So the pleasure is what you are missing. And it alarms a danger when we, having been coming from the caveman ancestry, still have the same programs in us, and we find intimacy a survival thing, a necessary and a necessity for balance and survival, like food that we eat. We're programmed to want that. A heterosexual male loves women, wants women for many reasons, but it's learning all those new reasons in the past century or past many years, not 1,000, 2,000 years ago. It's all instinctive from then. So we still have that feeling of we, heterosexual male, wants to be with a woman, to find balance, to find confidence, to find security in the way he feels when he's interacting with a woman that he's used to. And for him, he's not really noticing the woman as a person, only he is focused on how he feels and how complete he feels when he's with that woman through the pleasure he receives from the intimacy. So when you break up, instead of thinking about who is it that you broke up, you think about the feeling that is no longer there, the feeling of the pleasure from intimacy. So you think you broke up with pleasure, which creates that alarm of danger. What? Pleasure is the most sought after feeling in the whole entirety of my life, and I don't have it, I lost it, I miss it, it's gone. So that is really what creates that danger and alarm and panicky feeling and crying and emotional expressions. Not necessarily because who she was, because who she was, if she was really that good, she would still be there. How could someone who doesn't want to be with you be qualified to be with you? Be qualified for you to desire her? Be qualified for you that you long for her? She doesn't want to be with you, and that's a disqualifier, because one of the first criterias for a woman to be qualified to be in a relationship with you is that she wants to be with you. If she doesn't, that's a disqualifier. So why can't you disqualify a woman whose interaction with you or behavior was no longer compatible? Maybe it was at one point, but no longer. And instead of focusing on the fact of how things are and how she is today with you and what personality she's grown into, good or bad, you're focusing on who she was when you guys met and all those lovey-doveys. That's past, that's dead, that's non-existence, that's an illusion, that's a perception you have of her. Look at who she is today and see how she's treating you, what characteristics she has now, and are they still compatible with what you were seeking in the past and meets your standards or not? And you will see, no. Why? Because she's not there. I don't care how wonderfully a person is. The fact that she's not offering that wonderfulness, sweetness, or whatever it is that you admire about someone, to you, that disqualifies her. Can you guys get this? Your parameter for qualifying a girlfriend is not set right. You're only focusing on the pleasure of it. One-sided. You're not considering for a relationship to be healthy and good, it has to be two-sided, both sides sharing the same goals of being in a relationship. If one of them does it, it doesn't matter how much you like or one likes the other. It wouldn't work, and it's not palatable and shouldn't be expected or pursued. So, right now, you're only focused on the fact that you are missing the intimacy. And something is missing in your life. Not enough socialization, not enough female friends, not enough connection with females, even platonic, and therefore you revert back to what's missing. And what's missing in your mind could only be replenished and fulfilled by the most recent relationship, your ex-girlfriend, because that's the one that by default comes to your mind, because you're constantly thinking about pleasure, sex, intimacy. It's in your genes. It's not like anything bad, but because you, as a heterosexual male, you constantly think of that and desire women. Every time that you desire it and it comes to your mind, that need, most recent girlfriend and relationship with feelings that you had will come to your mind. That girl will come to your mind. Then you think it's that girl that you're missing, rather than the fact that the roots of it all is your programming, you wanting intimacy, you want pleasure, and that balances you, and that's what you're conditioned to seek, and it's not there. And then you think of your girlfriend, then you think it's a girlfriend that is really what you need, not that you need to get a life. In other words, focus on all the wonderful things that are going well for you in your life and have got nothing to do with your girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. Look, why don't you look at the things that are right in your life? Your health, your faith, your work, your stuff that you like to do, your interests, your plans. They're all independent of her. But you're not focusing on all the things that are going right in your life. You're only focusing on this one, which can perfectly go right as soon as you realize that you should disqualify her. Not that you are disqualified. You must disqualify her because of the change of heart, because of the fact that she's not there, because of the fact that she's broken up or you broke up or however it is, because of the fact that there were reasons that you guys are not together, whether she initiated or you, it doesn't matter. If you focus on that, you will see there's only one element that has to do with her. And everything else that is right in your life has nothing to do with her. Yet, you're focused on those instead of that. Doesn't make sense, does it? If you look at one of my videos called Your World is Stable, Perfect Time to Go On, or something like that, that I have explained if we consider ourselves being the center and we're connected to our world with all these tentacles, and each of these tentacles be something in our life. Friends, job, health, family, whatever it is, interest. And then one of them is girlfriend. And now the girlfriend is cut, like the bridge that is over a body of water, and it's got these long cables going up, and there are hundreds of them. Do you know why there are hundreds of them? Because if one of them let go, nothing happens to the bridge. The cars can still go, passengers can still go. The bridge will be solid. It won't move just because one or two cables were cut or were corroded or whatever happens. They become disconnected. Nothing happens until they come and repair it. Same thing, we are connected to our world with a bunch of many different things. Our jobs, our friends, our interests, our sports, our learning, our health, our whatever we're focused on, we want to accomplish, our plans. And one is girlfriend, connecting to our life, our world. One cable, the girlfriend, is broken. Okay, cut. All right. Everything else is holding us up. Nothing is fallen. Nothing is affected. Just like the big bridge. We've got redundancy on the bridge. That's why nothing happens to it when one cable goes off. We have redundancy and things that connects us to the world in many different things. So one thing that falls apart, relationship, so big deal. It'll be repaired because lo and behold, there's so many connections out there that they want to connect to this broken cable, the relationship line, relationship tentacle, that it's a no-brainer. It will happen. But if you sit down in here and put your head down and cry, you will never find the compatible ones and the qualified ones that are out there and seeking to get to know us and reconnect that certain missing tentacle to our life and to bring that back in a different way. So stop focusing on the intimacy and the pleasure and focus on who she was, and then breathe and focus on all the good tentacles that are connecting you, strongly holding you up and making you feel good and advance and do your things and so on. But you're summing it all up like if they don't worth anything and only I want her. Would you have liked every other tentacle that connects you to your world would collapse and only you would have this line, the girlfriend line? Would that be okay? Because this is exactly what you're doing. Because you're saying that you can be up and running with only the girlfriend line. Because you're ignoring everything else that is going right in your life and you're focused on that one thing. It's exactly like saying, well, I don't want any of those. Job, health, family, friends, interests, exercise, whatever else. I don't want any of that. I just want to be just this one. You'll throw up. You'll see that life has no meaning. So it's better to have all the rest and miss that one, which can easily be replaced given enough interest, focus, and perseverance. Capiche? I hope you got it. All right. And Gavin says, just one moment, that deserves a sip of tea. Let me go to Facebook, so I won't neglect them as here. Aman Azim says, hi Mehran Dadbeh. Remember the question how to avoid the stress? Okay. I don't remember. You mean you asked me and I said come to live talk? So you want to see how to avoid the stress? Well, we had a example of how to quickly handle immediate stress and anxieties, while I made sure everybody understand this is not a medical diagnosis or remedy. You should talk to your doctor if you have stress or anxiety, but as a way that it is handled in layman terms, medicinal, non-medical professions or discussions, we learned in martial arts how to reduce that feeling of not being so balanced and haste. And I have a demonstration that I did in live talk number 361, which I've uploaded it, and it had a complete, a little bit more elaborate than this. But we also talked about stress in detail there. So I really hope that you will accept to take a look at number 361 and look for the handle stress. And I will trim that to one separate video so you all can have access to it. Because I really, at the moment, I don't feel like getting up and doing a demonstration of how to handle stress. But unless you have a specific question about stress, not in general, then of course I can address that. And Arben Bushati says, hey, from UK. That's not enough, Arben. Gender, age, and then UK. There's 3 codes. M for male, F for female, or whatever you use to express your gender, and then age, and then UK. Oh, sorry, before that we have Jared Michael Griffith. What? Griffrath. Okay, I hope I didn't butcher the name. Hello, Jared says, the love of my life married a friend. Ouch. All right. How could she be the love of your life if she is not reciprocating? You cannot give her that echelon. Love of my life? How could be the love of your life when she is not reciprocating? Only thing that you can call love of my life is if you love her and she loves you back. And that takes time to get to know each other's consciousness, to understand each other's conditionings, about each other's fears, desires, ego, how you tick, each one of you, and how you treat each other, how focused and passionate and compassionate and unselfish you are toward each other, and how you deal with daily life as you go out and experience, outside lives in real life situations. And then you get to know each other, and in given time, you will decide, yeah, we love each other. Otherwise, the rest of it, before all this happens, is lust, is what you're programmed to feel for what it is the program, your genes. And for heterosexual male and female, it's procreation. So you're driven to that by just seeing a female. But that's not love. Love is a far different echelon. a different frequency. Only when the frequencies actually have examined each other and experienced each other in all the tangents that are named, then the frequencies are compatible. And then you begin to think, yeah, we love each other. It's like every musician that is in a concert and everybody's playing their own tune. Nothing is beautiful and no real music, but every one of them are beautiful maybe, but together is just a mishmash. Until they figure out the frequencies, toning, timing, rhythm, and then it all becomes coordinated in harmony, then we got an orchestra. Then soothes the mind. The frequencies change. An emotion is created that was never there. That's love. And that happens when you guys get into the same frequency by knowing each other in a long time, a long term, in the tangents that we talked about. Then you can say. Now, if none of that has happened, and you just have an infatuation for this girl and then she married someone else, what the hell is that? Why would you find her qualified to be the love of your life? The frequency is not there. Okay, she plays a good violin and you play a good piano. Okay. Individually, you're good musicians. But together, you stink. It doesn't fit. That's probably what it was. You liked her looks and whatever you thought of her, but I can't open the rest of the question here. What the heck? Oh, there we go. Says we have been separated almost 4 years and it is still haunts me. Why? Why are you guys so hung up on one girl? Listen, it was you who created that chemistry, that you became the catalyst for that relationship. It was your chemistry and your interaction with her, with this particular woman, a particular woman, that made her seem so special. Before you interacted with her, she wasn't special. She was just another girl walking in the street. And there were so many other ones. And there were so many similarities between this one and many other girls. And they were all pretty, they were all maybe educated, they were all wise, and they were all clean looking and decent looking and proper dressing and all that. So let's say there were a bunch of them all in similar qualities. So you could have picked any one of them and had exchange energy and interacted in the same way, and then that one would have become important to you. But you happen to choose this one. But now because you chose this one, you think none of the other ones would have had the same kind of interaction and results of interest and a good relationship with you? No, because you didn't try them. You chose this one. And because you chose this one, you think, oh, nobody else would have. No, you are part of the fact that this girl seems so attractive, so wonderful to you. You had a say in that cultivation of her character, and the combination of you and her was the reason why the whole thing was palatable. Not her alone. Her alone without you would have meant nothing, because it needs you. Look, I have a video that is called How to Feel Better After a Breakup. You'll be fine, I'll prove it to you. And it's a long title, but I didn't know any better then. But it's the one that has got most viewers, got about, I don't know, 350,000 viewers. And it is probably the simplest way to explain, which seems to be resonating with lots of people. And I share with you here in short, but go take a look at it. It's called You Will Be Fine, I Will Prove It to You. Just in my search engine, type in You Will Be Fine, I Will Prove It to You, and you will see it. It says, it has the same thumbnail. It says, I will prove it to you. 12 minutes or so. And click on that one. And basically, you have to realize that every one of us are like molecules of chlorine and salt. You can be the chlorine, she could be sodium. You could be the sodium, she could be chlorine. I don't care. But we are like what Na, natrium, the old name for sodium, and chlorine, Cl, the atomic number or abbreviation for chlorine, each one of them by themselves are poison. But when they get together, the synergic effect and all the involvement of the atoms, electrons, and whatnot, what does it do? It creates salt, becomes nutritional value, a necessity for our livelihood. But by themselves, they're poison. The fact that they get together, the combination makes the poison nutrition, makes the poison nutrition. So if you think you were one of them, you were the Cl and the other one was Na, natrium, sodium, or the other way around, without the other one, you would still be not something that would be a sustenance, nutritional value, necessary for our lives. The fact that you were involved made her, Cl, to become salt. If you, natrium, wouldn't be in the equation, she could be a poison. So it was you who turned that, which could be a poison, into salt. So you had a very important role in turning that what you admire into something that could be admired. Otherwise, if you weren't in the equation, if you hadn't chosen her, interacted with her, the synergic effect and exchanges, she wouldn't be what you are making a god out of. She would be just another chlorine, poison, or sodium. And same thing with you. So you had a big saying in how you feel about her. Go bloody well do the same magic you did to another girl, with another girl, and make her to become your world. Because you are the sodium, you are the natrium, or the chlorine, whatever the hell we want to call it. Which one of you want to choose? But you are detrimental. You are very important in creating the salt, creating that sweet atmosphere of emotions and compatibility. Don't think it was all her. Her by herself would have been poison. So your role is far more important than you're seeing it. You're only looking at the end product. You're only looking at salt. Oh, she was salt. No, she was never salt. You and her together made it to become salt. And you're forgetting about you. You're thinking, oh, she's the sustenance. No. So, because of your important role, you can do and unleash that ability to another chlorine atoms or molecules and create salt again with someone else and love her and see how wonderful she becomes. Now look at the video, I'll explain it to you a little bit more. And it says my complete friendship and social circle has left me and gravitated to them. It's a big freaking deal. So what? Like your whole world is just these bunch of people who are stupid enough that for their own pleasures they couldn't keep a balance. Okay, the hell with it. So what? You go, they chose some there, okay, you go and choose another group. Haven't you seen Seinfeld? They created another group, look like each other. Says my health has deteriorated. Why? Come on, man. She's not the world. She gets up in the morning, still gotta wash her face and brush her stinky teeth and shit and eat some food and go. Another human being. Don't make gods out of human beings. Without you, nothing that you think matters would matter. Without you, nothing that you think it's so important would have any importance. It is you, the center of everything, that makes everything that you think is important matter. You got to appreciate yourself, your role in this life. It says my self-esteem is non-existent. Oh, because you don't look at it. Whatever you don't look at it, it seems non-existent. You go to a Louvre museum, and while you're looking at Mona Lisa, nothing else exists. Okay, you're not looking at it. You turn your head around, you'll see, oh, so many beautiful artwork, and Mona Lisa doesn't exist. Why? It's not in your field of vision. You're not focusing on your self-esteem, and you think you don't have it because you don't want to unleash it, because you're not focusing on your ability. The mere fact that she's so important is because of your ability, because of your self-esteem, because of your expertise. You turned her into what you have made out of her. Symbol of godhood. Go make somebody else symbol of godhood. It's all an illusion. You created it. Go create another one. Unlimited creation is possible for what things you're talking about. And says, I never go out in fear of seeing them. Ah, fuck. Who the fuck are they? Fear of seeing them. No, it's not them you fear. It's you fear. You inability to understand and appreciate and love yourself that you fear. That when I see them, that means I lost. You lost what? You lost someone who didn't deserve to be with you, because if she did, she would be with you. If she's not, that means she doesn't deserve to be with you. But you want to say whoever doesn't deserve to be with me deserves to be with me. Well, that's something wrong here, isn't it? You need to focus that you are the master. You are the creator and architect of your life. You did that one to turn into wow. Go turn something else to turn into wow. It is all about you. You missed the point. You are the nucleus of everything that is going right or wrong in your life. Go make another thing flourish. Create that in your mind. Focus on the fact that you decided that she's not qualified. Not that she went with somebody else, and because she opens her heart to somebody else, then therefore that somebody else is more important than you. Who gives a shit about who died and left her in charge, that whoever she sleeps with is more important than somebody else? So all people in the world are not important because she's not sleeping with them. She didn't marry them, she married somebody else. So then only this guy. Who is this guy? What has he done for the world? There's so many people, the scholars of high echelons are out in the world making this world go around, and they're not chosen by her. In fact, they don't give a shit about her. It is you who decided to give a shit about her. But she's got no power of any kind. So what she chooses does not diminish you or anybody else. And what she chooses does not increase the value of anybody else. It's all in you. Your value, your lack of it, this and that, is all in your mind. Is there anything else but thoughts? Thoughts are life. We live with thoughts. However you think, that's how you are, if you want to make it that way. Happy, happy. Sad, sad. However, whichever the two you think, that's how you are. Just switch it. I don't need her. What she's offering, I can get somewhere else. There's so many grocery stores. I can buy milk here and bread there and so on. You won't say, oh, this grocery store doesn't have bread, so it doesn't want to sell me the bread. So, no, I just give hell with that. I'm just going to go to the supermarket. I'm going to go supermarket. Forget the grocery store. I'm going to go supermarket. So many stuff there. But if you don't want to go to supermarket, you can't blame the supermarket, that unavailability of things. Just get off your butt. Don't make a god out of a human being. Well, has she been able to cure a common cold if you're making such a big deal out of her? I can't live without her. Why? She's a cure of common cold. What has she done for humanity that she's so great? The compassionate? Has she cured all diseases, helped all the children, all the old and young people, men and women in the world? She's so compassionate, helped them to feed them. Huh? So great she is. What is she? To you, or to anybody else, nothing more than what she can give. And this is what any human being. So, and that's available everywhere else. Go. Get off your ass and go make your life happen. I've stopped making art. It's your choice. Your stupidity making art. So what are you making instead? Fart? Get off your butt. Get off your butt and go make the best art you've ever made. Why? Because you can. Because you have it in you. It's all your thoughts that are holding you back. Nothing else. Nothing holding you back. Watch the video I have called The Power of Mind. Is it? It's a seminar I did at the local university. It's about 45, 50 minutes. I talked about the end of fear. In there, you will see how powerful your mind is only because of the way you think. I will show you, prove to you, you're much more powerful than you think you are. Watch that video. You will see that the power that you think you don't have, you can have like that. It's all in here. It's depending on how you think. Go watch that video. And then he says, I never, let's see, say stories and lies have been said about me. Who gives a shit? How many people have heard it? 10, 20, 100? There's 7 billion people in the world. Unless every single one of them come and turn their backs on you and say the same story, your reputation is clean. Because what's the word of 100 people? It's not even that. To the actuality of things. I don't care if 1,000 people come and say something shitty about me. The truth lies in me. I know what the truth is. Because what do they know? They are saying what they're saying because it suits them and benefits them. They're not describing me. They're describing their own fears, their preference. They're justifying their own preference for whatever the hell it is that they're doing. Understand that people's opinion is not the currency of your value. People's opinion is not the currency of your value. Did I say that again? People's opinion is not the currency of your value. You have to understand that. When you understand that, then you won't give a shit about what they think. Just go make it to be the way you want. Go make your art. I want to see that art done. Get a nice girl. Focus on your life. Build your life. You can do the same thing you did for her. Make her God out of nothing. Do the same thing with somebody else. And learn about your capabilities. And he says, I feel paranoid in public. Oh, fuck. Do you think those public that you're paranoid on, they all got clean asses? They got shit in their pants, they got problems, they got bad manners, character flaws, all kind of shit in their life, but they're trying to portray you as something that you're not, so they will feel better. They say there are 2 ways to have the tallest building in life, in the city. One is to destroy all other buildings. Then you'll be tallest, because nobody else is there. The other one is to keep building your own structure. And many people don't have that talent and ability to build anything out of themselves. They cannot. They don't have the wisdom, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the will to do it. They're incapable. So what do? They choose the first choice. Let's chisel something else down so we will look big. You gotta know about human psyche. They're a bunch of losers, most of us. We find greatness in other people's miseries. How dumb and stupid and low life we are to think that way. And these are the people who have created that, and you're buying into it as if they are the almighties and they're all so pure and perfect. But they are attacking you, and while you're being attacked, instead of simply moving and about your life and through and out, you're just trying to go, no, don't, and then you keep getting hit. So then you feel pain. But if you don't give a shit, like a shield of a Persian army, you just go through and let all these arrows just bounce back and be protected by your shields and go through. They will end and you will pass through them. That was a bit of history. The old Persian army, 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. They didn't give a shit about what people thought of them. They just did what they had to do. So, be one. And it says, I walk outside and I feel like I am not in control of my life. Yeah, you feel like because you're not. Why? Because you don't feel like it. Change your thoughts. Change your feeling. Your feelings come from your thoughts. As long as you thought the way you do, you think the way, as long as you think the way you do, you will feel the way you do. And then you think, oh, I can't do anything. But it's you who created that feeling. Change your thoughts. You can do it. There's no cost to it. You created these thoughts, change it to something else, you will feel differently. Just don't believe the bullshit that you're hearing. Don't care about it. As if there is no reason, no rhythm, no point. I don't know what to do anymore. Oh, yeah, you do know. You are the engine. and you think you're the whatever else. You're the horse that is pulling the cart. You're the engine that is moving this train. You're the locomotive. You can go any direction, you can do anything, you can power up to any point. But you've decided to stop, like the elephant that is stopped from moving because it's got this little tiny chain on his leg. Because he's conditioned to believe that this tiny chain is actually bigger than what it is. Why? Because when he was a little boy or little kid, the little elephant, they put a chain that looked very heavy and strong to him. And he tried to pull it, but he was a kid. He couldn't pull that chain. Now the same chain is being used, which is now to his size. That chain is only tiny. It looked big when he was little, but now that he's big, that chain is very thin. But he still remembers, no, I couldn't move it then, so I can't move it now, so I'm not even going to try. That's what has happened with you. That's what you've done to yourself. Get off your ass and wash all this bullshit. And exercise your powers. And remember, you're the locomotive, you're the architect, you're the NA, you're the CL, you're the one who make things happen. You're the horse that is pulling the cart. You are the center of everything. Now, get up and go before I get mad. Let me have some tea. Got 18 people here. Well, hopefully you guys will click on subscribe if you haven't. Click on like if you do like. And, okay, time's to go to YouTube side, and I'll come back to you, Arben. Gavin says, Mehran, do you ever feel lonely? No. Since you do live by yourself. Yeah. It's because I do live by myself. Should I be doing live with somebody else? Should be by myself. I thought I'm doing the talking. Is there somebody else supposed to? Am I not talking? Do you guys not hear me? Mehran, do you ever feel lonely? No. As I said to you guys, loneliness is a state of mind. It's not true. We're connected, whether you want it or not. We're connected to the whole thing, the whole existence of this universe, of this life, of this world. I'm connected to that tree. But the problem is you guys don't see anything beyond the physical appearance of the tree. That's why you can't connect with anything. You gotta go beyond that. What is it that makes that tree alive? What is it that makes the ocean waves move? What is it that makes me alive? What is it? It's all the same. One thing, energy, flows throughout the universe. When we sleep, fills us up because the mind enters into a frequency that it can accept those frequency of charges, energy, key. When we wake up, we're vigorous. Through the day, we use that energy. Even if we sit on the couch, watch TV, at the end of the day, we feel exhausted. We feel like we're not as strong anymore. Why? Because there's something that we've been using, facilitating our life called energy. So it's the energy that keeps the trees, flowers, animals, us, movement of the wind and the oceans, and creation of the mountains all be as they are. The same energy can flow out of your fingertips if you focus on it. With the exercise that we did yesterday, every one of you who saw it by now is convinced that there is something more into us than just our physical appearance. And if we can create that flow of energy, feeling of that rush out of our fingertips by that exercise that we did, we can also create it without the exercise, but our mind. And when we do that, then we see that, oh wow, like the Star Wars Force push, these things are actually have some truth to it. And you feel that you can be one with the whole nature, the whole life. And you're not an individual, you're connected. That's why you can never be lonely. Now we are like the drop of the ocean outside the ocean, but we're still drop belong to the ocean. We're never alone. We're a drop in the ocean. It's made out of billions and trillions and billions and trillions and forever trillions of drops that have made the ocean. The ocean is not an ocean as one entity, is drops that has made the ocean to be. Lots of drops. And the drops are not just one drops, they are the ocean. It's both one and the same. The drops are the ocean are drops. Same thing. We are the universe is us. Flowing through us, and we're connected. You're never lonely. Ever. All right. My tea is ending. All right. Let's see. Emmanuel says, what usually kills me is about her is what you have referred to sometimes as the welcome package. Her welcome package was awesome. She was the sweetest and the gentlest girl I've ever seen. So big deal. She's not the only sweetest and gentlest girl, but just like the video I have to the limits of addiction, just go onto my search engine and put the word to the limits of addiction. I don't know the rest of the name of it. There will be a video coming talking to you about that when you break up, you're addicted to that brand of drug, which in the breakup case is you're addicted to that brand of girl. And until you are able to understand that, you think that's the only girl that can suit your shortcomings, your need. But once you understand that better quality of whatever you need is even out there ready, available, and it doesn't have to be brand, just a new model, new opportunity to go through exercise and get to know each other, and then find out, wow, this is a far superior quality of woman, of interaction, of relationships. Why was I thinking that that was the only one? Change your mind and everything moves forward. As long as you believe a certain way, then you're confined to that certain way, and you can't even believe you can go any further. Why? Because whatever you want to do in life, your mind does it first. If you believe you can do it, then you can. If you believe you can't do it, then certainly you can't. As simple as we tried it before. You put your hand over here or on your knees and say, my hand is stuck to my chest 100% with the strongest glue in the world. My hand is, and I cannot move it. My hand is stuck to my chest. It's just one piece. It's one. I cannot move it. And as long as you think that way, you can't move it, even if you try, because your belief, your mind is commanding that it's one piece is glued. I can't move it. But as soon as you say, no, I can move it. You have to understand the role of your mind and thinking to your behavior and to your limitations or capabilities. Once you do, half of the battle is done. Antoine, Achilles 25 says, hello Mehran, master mentor friend. Hello Antoine, my dear friend. How are you? Antoine here, 52, male, Los Angeles. Blessings as always on a glorious Sunday. Is the zip code V7T1B8? Absolutely. Yes, it's correct. If you send it by post, post takes a long time. Long time? I had a little accent there, didn't I? More than I do. It takes a little long time. So if you send it by U.S. Postal Service, between the U.S. Postal Service and Canadian Postal, of course, our Canadian Postal Service is very good. It's all your faults, guys. I bet you it'll take a few days before it passes, especially in the States. It's a big postal service, lots more mail to handle. So obviously it takes maybe a week or so to leave, and then maybe a week for here to be sorted out. I presume I would get it tomorrow. I hope. And oops, that's a tongue twist. Dia Radaide. Dia Radaide. Sounds like a music. Dia Radaide, Dia Radaide, Dia Radaide. It's nice name. Very happy. Star Wars theory that, oh, one of my special guests. He says, your son is the best. Yes, I think so. Isn't he? I have to say, I know, because we grew up with him. We grew up together. Yeah, he's such a good man. I'm glad you're enjoying his channel. Now, everywhere you see says, you're the best. No bullshit. Just straight the point. Thank you. Yes. But where's the kudos? I need 1 million subscribers. Where are they? Why can I not be seen? I got carpal tunnel syndrome by keep changing the tags. 100 videos tags are changed. I hope they're changed to better. And shortened. And titles are shortened. And all playlists, no, more than half of it. 45 of them out of 86 playlists. Their names have been put into that program. Keywords everywhere. And I've changed them. Some of them that they needed to. Some of them were very good, actually. But I'm still invisible. I'm an invisible man. I'm the man behind the curtain. In the Wizard of Oz. Okay, now. And Robert Snidden says, hey, Robert, if I get my hands on you, I will beat you with ugly stick, with all the hoopla that you've created out of your life. I want to see you straightened out. I want to see you respect yourself. I want to see you love yourself. I want to see you understand your powers, that you are the one who make things this way or that way. I want you to change your mind and pay attention to yourself, not to that jackass that you're stuck on. You get me? And I've written you enough. Don't bloody well write me another book and I have to answer it, because I can't not answer it. I want to make sure you're doing well, taking care of yourselves, and not thinking stupid stuff. To focus on building your life, focus on your job. There's so many girls who would appreciate a guy like you. Obviously, you're an upstanding guy. I don't know what you got messed up with. And just simply understand. Oh, there's a problem. 22, for heaven's sakes. You're all dick and nothing else. That's why you're constantly following that girl. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop. And move on with your life. Build your life. Stay away from that girl. And shape up your life, because you can. At age 22, you don't even know yourself. You've got nothing going for you. You've got to start building your life and have things going for you. Feel valuable and confirmed by your own accomplishments and your goals. And then you won't need to think that, oh, somebody else is where my value lies in, between her legs. Then you're free when you understand that you are the master. But you haven't made anything out of yourself right now. So you're seeking your valuation and validity and affirmation from a relationship, from kudos and compliments from another person. It happens to be her. What has she accomplished in her life that her words would make you feel good? Her words, with the way she has lived, should make you feel ashamed that you're even talking to her. You've tried, she doesn't want to straighten out, and you know where her lifestyle is going. You know damn well. You don't have to be a genius to know that. While I think you're a pretty good guy, you know damn well that lifestyle, if it continues, it goes to hell. And you've done your best. You have no responsibility towards her. You have now responsibility toward you. Protect you from her. Not trying to fix her when she doesn't want to be fixed. Protect you. That's the oath you took when you were given birth. You will take care of yourself. And you're not doing that. And for the sake of pleasure, you're trying to pretend that she's more important than you. Well, she's more important. You have given her enough importance and attention. And it is her choice, as everyone's is their own choice to take care of themselves and choose what the path they choose. She has chosen that. You do not need to go in that path with her. Stay out, move on different direction. If you really are serious in the things that you write to me, that you want to be free and you want to be good and you want to enjoy your life, go to a different direction from her. Leave her be. I don't care if she kisses you or she does whatever she does. Whenever she feels like it, it's a manipulation. You will end up doing shit for her that you're going to end up in jail. So I want you to focus on your life, free yourself, as I'm asking you, as you really want to do, because you want to be free. You want to be who you are. You want to be strong because you are a good boy. You are a good guy. And a good people like you don't get involved in these kind of relationships. You're a good man, so go on your good life and take care of yourself. That's the decision you have to make. Until you make that decision, did you notice my accent? You make. See, I'm becoming Scottish. You make that decision. Unless you make that decision, you will not be able to follow the path. You gotta make a decision for the direction that you want to travel. If you haven't made a decision for a direction that you want to travel, you will travel in all directions and not the one that you should be. Focus on the direction, make a decision, and march on. And that direction is 180 degrees away from the direction that you've been facing. All right, I think you got enough. And believe in yourself. You're a good man. Repeat that to yourself every time you want to speak. You're a good man. You're too good for these kind of things. Move on and find a decent girl. It is not your responsibility to do anything more for her. Nothing. And never be in contact with her again. Ever. I don't care what she offers. Nothing. Nada. Zero. All right. I go forward. No, Emmanuel, you're not going to do the same thing. It's not the same. And if anything, you encourage Robert to get out of that and move a different direction. It's Robert writing. No, Robert. No. You're not going to the same thing. Don't make it look like this is a normal thing. It is an abnormal relationship. You're not going through the same thing as Emmanuel is going. I want you to recognize that. Do not justify it. Do not normalize it. This is something you got to make a decision here. This is crunch time. You make a decision and you move on away from that. You hear me? I hope you do. David, male, 24, Dallas. There's my man. Peter, Adrian, says, what's on the menu today? Oh, lots of yelling and screaming. Not much, really. Arban, sorry to keep waiting, my friend. Says, hey, from the UK, another relationship question. Ah, thank God. Says, I have a real issue making decision in life. Uh-huh. I'm intrigued. I can spend days not being able to make decisions. Yeah, we all can, can't we? Now, before you do that, Arban, let me look at the next one. You say, how old are you? 31 UK. Okay, male, 31 UK. All right. I can spend days not being able to make decisions. Have you any tips on making a decision between two options? Yeah, simple. Translate the decision's outcome, product of the decision, to your life. See which one actually enables you to go forward with the stronger strides and brings you more goodies, decent stuff. I'm not talking about a decision between legal and illegal choices. No, always illegal choices are thrown out of the window and shunned away and never considered. That's a given. But let's say that you have got two decent choices, both legal activities of work or buy this or buy that or do this or that. You always translate the benefits. See, what are the cons and what are the benefits of this, the outcome of this decision? You know, it's like two dishes you have in front of you to eat. One of them is, let's say, Chinese dim sum, yum yum, and the other one is some greasy fast food. Well, and it's delicious though, yeah? So you're gonna go for taste. Well, that has got that for you. The greasy fast food is delicious. Okay, that's a plus. You like taste. But then what else does it do for you? Well, it could help clog the arteries. It could give you fat that you don't want, not a good fat. It could put weight on you, which you have to then, for that pleasure, you got to go run your ass off and get some, calories burnt. And it could also have ingredients that are not really working well together, and they give you gas and perhaps some other chances and less of an energy, especially if you want to go play tennis or do something else, that you'll feel heavy and not really tuned up. And then the other one, the dim sum, lovely atmosphere, good service, and no oil, and just natural stuff in there. It's got a good combination of carbohydrates and protein, depending on what you order, what you pick. And then within a couple of hours, you're ready for your exercise and whatever it is you want to do. So sounds like a good choice, yeah? And everything else has pros and cons. The con with the Chinese food one is that you will never get enough. An hour later, you're hungry again. So you will wait up and you will make a decision that way. You can't just say, oh, only focus on the good points of the decision. Say, well, this one has this good point and that one has that good point. Well, I can't decide because I want all the good points. You can't have it. You go to a shoe store, you've got two good pair of shoes. You got to choose. Color, which one we prefer. Go through the process of elimination. Which color do you want? Do you want that color? No, I don't want that color. So that's already out. So even though you might not want this color, but you want this color more than the other color. That color you actually don't want. Absolutely nothing. So that's out. The size. Well, the size are okay. This one feels a little bit better. That one looks better, but I want to feel better. So you choose this one. So you go through these process of elimination and comparison, and you make a decision. You come out whichever has got higher points, you take that one. And it's not too difficult, but unless I know the specific question, it'll be hard to really generalize it in that way. But I hope that was of some help to you. Ashish Patel and Jared Michael says, thanks, I needed that, a kick. Oh yeah, it's going to be more of that if you don't really get that artwork going, because a talented person like you must not lie down and die and deprive yourself and other people from enjoying what you're in this world to do, your specialty. You have a duty to other people on this earth to do your best at whatever you are good at. You can't just simply lie down for pleasure. I have a video prepared which is titled, what is it titled? It is titled what is it titled? I know part of it is junk food, but the rest of it I know exactly. It's titled Number One Reason Why You Eat Tasty Junk Food. I hope that will help you guys out, because it's not about eating, it's about why, and we go deep into the psyche. It's pretty heavy thinking there, but I hope you get the gist of it, because that is exactly reason why you're preferring pleasure. And that's the whole thing. The video is discussing about why you prefer the pleasure of the tasty food. That's why you eat it. So in here, you're preferring pleasure of being with that girl versus the very lot more important stuff and variety of important stuff and joyful stuff that is in front of you. But you prefer to not take action and steps towards fulfilling important tasks and settle on your ass and just think about a certain kind of pleasure which makes you don't have to do anything, because the pleasure is the most sought after emotion that we want. And when you somehow can get that, then you don't think anything else is important. But thinking about her constantly makes you feel like everything is good, while you know that you're neglecting your job, neglecting everything. And every time you want to feel good, you got to think about that pleasure, her, because it keeps you in the memory where you think about all this stuff, where the memory has also files of the order, the routine of the things. And in that routine, your mind finds security. Because right now you have no routine. The order is broken. The mind is like a gypsy going everywhere. It doesn't have a place in your body. But you can find that order in the memory of the relationship. That's why you go in there. And in that memory, there's an order because it's recorded there how it used to be. And in that order, in that routine, your mind finds comfort and security. That's why you don't want to come out of it and deal with it and get rid of it and go on with your business. That's why I say get off your ass and make things moving. Make things shaking and moving. And Arben says, thank you very much. I'm hungry now. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to choose between going to a festival or doing my work commitments. Do your work commitments. Depending on how long you've been doing the work commitments and how long the festival is. The festival would cost me loads of money, but would have a great time. Fuck the great time. Build your life. You can have a great time when you have lots of money. However, the work will help me make future plans. Stay on the course. Future plans. I will not impede my finances. That's the idea. But then it's only money, right? No. That's bullshit. It's only money. Sometimes money is everything. You know when? When you don't have enough of it. And when you do have enough of it, if you don't respect it, if you don't save it, if you don't plan for it, you will end up to the point that you don't have enough of it, and then it's not only money anymore. It's only money when you have taken care of it and you have loads of it in the bank and in your investments. Then and only then you take a percentage and go about all these excursions and the shit stuff that you think your life is made out of it. No, you probably are single right now. You probably don't have a girlfriend, I think. And you're trying to replace the festival for your things that you think is missing. So what I'm saying, if if you really want a girlfriend or want a relationship or want to feel good, focus on your job. Make that be more successful. Be good at what you do. Make more money. And then when you have all that, that gives you confidence, gives you pleasure of having accomplished. That confidence will emanate outwardly, and you will have other chances to attract other people because you feel good about yourself. And then when the time comes, you'll go on these festivals, and so on. That's what I think. Arben says, plus I have recently been told I'm very unwell, so I think a festival might make my health worse, as I will end up drink and perhaps other things. No. Stay away from drink, especially if you're not feeling well. But then when you are told you are so ill, I guess I start to worry how much time I have. Very difficult to plan. No. I don't know how old you are. You're not telling me enough. And I'm not a doctor, of course. So please do not misunderstand. You must talk to your doctor, and I'm sure you are. And you're understanding and following their instructions. I'm just talking to you as a friend because I'm no doctor. And I don't have any information that you're giving me. But common sense tells me that you must create a tranquil environment. Get that tranquility that you want, I don't know, with a cup of tea and a nice music and a relaxing atmosphere, and knowing that you're doing your work and you're ahead of it, nothing is behind. You create that comfort and security in your mind that you're not falling behind in your work and you're focusing on your plans, and all sounds really comforting and encouraging and supportive to what you want to achieve. That's what you should focus on. Forget the festival, for now at least. And pay attention to your health and to your work, and make life more relaxed. Simple. Well, I'm sure that you're talking to your doctors for that, and they're taking care of that, and definitely you don't want to aggravate that by drinking and being in atmospheres that are just there for ha, but they really don't have that much of a value when you have other important things such as your health and your career and your plans to focus on. So perhaps you will make it what brings you most comfort, most security. Think which one brings you the feeling of security more than the other. Psychological security, physical security. It takes less energy and gives you more relaxation, more contentment, more happiness about accomplishments. And whichever wins, that's the one you do. And from what you told me, it looks like enjoying a bit of time here and there while you work and attending to your work and plans, and continue creating that safe environment and good diet and having good things around you, and not being under stress of here and there or doing this and that and then regretting why am I not doing what I should be doing. Then it looks like that you should be focusing on making yourself happy about your work and accomplishments, rather than just a momentary hoopla and thinking that has accomplished anything. Take care of your health. That's number one. Number two, do your work. Number three, when you have loads of money and you're healthy back and feeling good and your work is good, then you go on a festival with no drinks. That's my prescription. All right. Let's see. I gotta be on this page. And Arben says, definitely the work brings me security. You were right about the festival thing. I think it's there to fill a void. I wonder why it doesn't open. I already have stopped drinking and diet. Well, good for you. And keep that up. So you got to be in an environment that you can keep that diet, and that is where you are. So I guess I just need to focus on that and not fear my illness. Be brave. Do whatever you're supposed to do to heal yourself and take care of your illness. You can't ignore it. Just do what the doctors tell me and what helps you to be healed and to be feeling better and healthier. That's the first priority. Second, do the things that makes you happy, which is accomplishment, security of money, and all that so forth. It has a lot to do with feeling comfortable, which will help your whatever challenge you're facing with. Because when you feel more, secured with your money and with your work, and you're not doing things detrimental to your health, then obviously you will feel better in your health as well. All right, let's look at the YouTube. And Petr says, oh, we said what's on the menu, Petr. Petr, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't liked the videos, the live talk, please click on thumbs up. Mark Hanna says, hi, I'm UK 26. Oh, no, male UK 26. What are thoughts on ex adding you on social media? They broke up with us. Why request us? I don't understand. They? How many exes do you have? Oh, you're talking in general. What are thoughts on ex adding you on social media? So they broke up with us. Why request us? Well, don't add them. Do not add them. They broke up with you and they want you on social media. It's to fluff their own ego. Or possibly, I don't know, maybe show you pictures that you don't want to see. What is she doing while she's having fun? I'm not hurt. I'm very good. Ha ha ha. I'm so carefree. I don't use condom. That sort of thing. So, I don't know. So many people, want to show that they're so carefree. So they maybe take pictures or behave in such a way that looks like they don't care about anything. And that's the name of the thing. Whoever doesn't care about more stuff, then she or he's the coolest. That's bullshit. You don't care, you won't get anywhere. You got to care about things. So you got to have discipline, you got to have manners, you got to have hygiene, you got to take care of your health, you got to be careful, and you got to, all these things that you're supposed to do. And that bit that I said about, I don't care, I'm free, it's a bit of a comedian called Eliza Schlesinger, I think. Eliza or Liza on Netflix. She's hilarious. She was describing a moment in a disco that the girls are trying to pick up a guy, and they just don't want to pretend they have attention on the guy, and they just pretend they don't care, and they're laughing for nothing and carefree and all that. And that business of carefree has gone too far out to the point that people are just going nuts and they're not behaving properly, and they consider that, oh, I'm free. Well, being free is good, but being free doesn't mean to be chaotically, undisciplined and do weird things to say I'm free. Well, be free, but you don't have to be weird. Anyhow, or careless. Robert says, I don't want to talk about that, Robert. I'm not going to even read it, because you have enough to know what to do. Yeah, just focus on who she is today. Focus on the bad stuff. Focus on the reasons that it broke up. Do not focus on the stuff that was good. Every relationship has some good stuff. That's why people get in the relationship. If it was all terrible, they would not even start it. But if they started, it's okay. For some reason, they're enticed. They're encouraged. They go in there. There's some pleasure, some intimacy, and all that covers all the shit that is going on. And eventually, the shit wins. That's why they break up. And once they break up, instead of focusing on the reasons that things were wrong and why they broke up, they start focusing on the things when things were okay, kind of, or the pleasures of it, which is not the reason that things broke up. You got to focus on the reasons that the relationship is broken up. Focus on the differences, problems, the dark experiences, the things that wasn't working, and the problems that was creating for your life. That's what you should focus on. You know, it's like saying I go to a restaurant, they put a food in front of me, and it was, you know, great tasting, but it had poison in it, and I started vomiting and going through the hospital and all this shit. But every time I think about that food in that restaurant, I only think about the portion of the food that was tasty. What the heck? You're supposed to focus on what was wrong with it in order to understand you shouldn't be going into that restaurant anymore. If you focus on the taste of it and the part of the plate that was all good, rather than the whole entirety of the experience, well, you only think that, oh, the food was good, the restaurant is reputable, I should go back there again. Because you're not focusing on the facts, and you're only focusing on what you want to focus to feel good. That's a stupidity. So simple. Focus on who she is now, what she is doing, what she's been involved in, what she's made you to do, how she has affected you, what the shit she's going through, and you're pulling yourself into it. And then you'll see the real picture and say, okay, I don't care if there was some stuff, nicer stuff in there, or the pleasure. I don't care about that. I'll focus on the poison, not the thing that, you know, seemed pleasurable, because the pleasure one didn't do anything to me, but the poison is the one that is I should watch out for. So because of that part of it, I focus on the poison, and I will turn around and go somewhere else, which there are no poison. All right, Abraham says, my problem is not being able to, I lost it, to move on and holding on to resentment from being lied to and cheated on. I have no motivation at the moment. I'm drinking a lot. So is drinking going to give you motivation? Is drinking going to give you fix the problems that you resent? Is drinking going to help you to forget the lie? No, are they? So why are you adding another negative thing to all the shit that you're having to handle right now? You're already bothered the lying thing, the cheating thing, and your motivation being affected, and you're going to add another negative action, the drinking part, to actually affect your health, bring you lower in motivation, and enlarge and exaggerate the focus on the cheating and everything, because, you know, drink is a downer, you know that. Forget about downer or upper. Everything that is a drug and is making you addicted and dependent on is shits. You got to throw everything that makes you dependent on. Anything in life that makes you dependent on and addicted to must be shunned and thrown away out of your life. You must be the righteous man, strong, and move on a steady line towards your goal and accomplishments, and make your life the way you want it to be, rather than be affected by all these shit that they come in the wrappings of pleasure and colorful, yet they are bearing poison and shit that brings you down and affects your life in a negative way. So, drinking, you want to drink with your dinner when you are not going through trouble, a glass of wine or a beer, okay. But you want to use it as a solution for a problem? That's no solution. This adds to the problem. It's add another problem to the problems. Because all it does makes you forget about something that you can't forget or logically deal with it. And by forgetting something, that doesn't mean you've dealt with it. You got to logically understand the hazards of it, the pain of it, the problem of it, and stay away from it. Shun, have a reason and logical reason for yourself to be away from that kind of situation. And to decide that that memory is not doing me any good, I don't want to think about it, it's bullshit. I don't care who lied to me. I care is that I shouldn't be with the people who lied to me. I don't care who cheated me. I know that the ones who cheat me don't deserve my attention. These are qualifications that I have for people who want to have a relationship with me. And if these people lie to me and cheat me, they're not qualified. They're disqualified. And I will throw them away inwards, and I just move on to find decency and atmosphere that I would enjoy sharing my time with. This is how you do. But if you don't have any principles, if you don't have any standards, well, then you'll be like a mosquito. Anywhere the wind blows, the mosquito goes. And he thinks that's his direction because the wind is blowing that way. No, You must be like a tree with roots in the middle of the riverbed, that the river, the society, cannot pull that tree anywhere because it's got roots and standing. It says, hey, I'm standing here, you bloody river, with all the shit that you're bringing in, with the garbage that is in your flow, you go around me. I don't want to be part of it, and I'm not going to let you float me with you all everywhere that you go and throw me to the banks of the river with the shit and garbage. I'll stay here and I choose what I want to take from your water, what nutrition you have, I will suck it in, and the ones that I don't want, I want you to go around me. The tree is you and the river is the society. Do not be like a log in the river, for the river will take the log to any direction because it doesn't have roots. Do not be a person in the society where you're affected by anything, any shit that the society does, any way that it flows, and you go with it alongside and accept it because that's how you want to be having an image to looked upon. Bullshit. Have standards. Have a core standards. Follow your standards. And if they don't measure up, they cannot enter your circle. Simple. Okay, now, my Facebook is about to end because my battery on the cell phone is giving me signals. So the ones who are on Facebook and still would like to join us, come on to YouTube. Mind That Seeks Truth is the name of my channel on YouTube. If you don't have the link, well, you should have the link, I guess. And then join us on YouTube because I'm going to end the Facebook live streaming as the battery is off. Hello, Murray, male, 56, Manitoba, Canada. Good to see you, Murray. Says you are very quiet today. I'm all maxed out at my end. Quiet? Are you kidding me? When did you show up? I've been talking my heads up. Anyhow, you can join me on the YouTube. I'm gonna end the Facebook, guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time. And thank you for being here. I hope that I answered everybody who was here. Ahmed, hi, Ahmed. You can come to YouTube. And Arben says thank you, much love, and much love to you too as well. And thank you for being here. So everybody who is on Facebook still wants to continue, come on to YouTube. Mind That Seeks Truth is my channel on YouTube. Talk to you later. Bye for now. All right. Now, we are now on YouTube only. So we go through what the question we had. All right, we talked to Abraham, and Adrian says women are the best actors and we guys are just spectators until the show ends. Okay. And no comment. I don't want to lose my head with my female subscribers here. Robert says thank you very much for absolutely everything, Mehran. I can't express enough how much of a great guy you really are. Well, if you really want to express it enough, do what I asked you. Turn your life around and show yourself that you're a man. You can take pressures and you can withstand influences of desire. And you are in control and not the pleasures and the needs that you might feel. It is important to prove to yourself, and this is your chance. Do the right thing. You will always remember it all your life, and it will be a very strong, solid ground for you to grow on and to build your things, because you know that you can count on yourself, that you will not crumble under influence or the need for pleasure or sex or intimacy or a girl turning you here and there. And what a girl. Please. Okay, now I think I've said enough. You know what you're supposed to do. Go do it, my friend. You can do it. Adrian, we talked about that. Robert says we all have to remember that time is a great healer. It's not just time. You don't need time to heal. You need your mind, focus, and powers and thinking to be changed, because time is thought. Thinking is creating time. You change your thinking, the time for such things will be shortened like you can't believe it. If you don't, the time will go on, but the thinking hasn't changed. It will continue forever and ever. Understand what I just said. I know you can, because you're a smart guy. I know you have a good heart and you're strong and you can do whatever you put your mind to it. Just put your mind to it. God damn it. You can do it. And Achilles 25 says, Mehran, I love your advice and wisdom. Can you please tell that artist, as a fellow artist, never let anyone or anything stop your creativity. We are artists and bring pleasure to the world. I think I relate that in a different way, because unfortunately I can't do it now anymore because the Facebook streaming is ended. I should have read your message sooner. I was thinking about you when I was talking to him, but I said, I'll just finish the discussion that way. And Robert says, if it wasn't for thoughts, things would be easier to deal with or more difficult. It is exactly for the same thing you just said that you're having a challenge, because you're not using your thoughts. The same thing is true the other way around of what you said. If it wasn't for thoughts, things would be easier. And also, if it wasn't for thoughts, things wouldn't be easier, because they can be easier if you use your thoughts correctly. It's like saying, if it wasn't for swords, nobody would die. Well, also, if it wasn't for swords, nobody, would have gone hungry, because you can use it for whatever. Did I say it right? If it wasn't for sword, people would have gone hungry. Or if it wasn't for sword, people wouldn't have been, injured. So it's all depending on how you use it. So thoughts the same. If it wasn't for thoughts, things would have been easier, you think. But also, if it wasn't for thoughts, you wouldn't be able to get out of problems, because it is a thoughts that you can use it either way, and you're using it in the wrong way. Use it in the right way to your advantage, and use the power and unleash the power of your thoughts to get you out of this shit and move you forward with encouragements and unleashing the powers that you have and getting it to work for you rather than against you. That's what you're using it. Change your thoughts, change your course of life. Now, Gavin says, Mehran, what's your opinion on alcohol and people going out every weekend? Do you think people are escaping from problems? Yes, they're incapable of dealing with their problems. They go and try to use alcohol so they wouldn't think about their problems, because alcohol is not good for you. Everybody knows that. But they've turned it. If it was so good for you, why are they putting so much different tastes in it? All kinds of tastes now. If it was really good and delicious, why would you put so much taste in it? Obviously, it's poison. Alcohol is poison. Simple. And, maybe a bit of a resveratrol in wine is good for you, and you have that a bit of enjoyment of wine or beer or something, to maybe, if you can't really relax, so it can relax you. But just one. But if it goes higher, like anything else, if you have too much of anything, even good, it will be bad for you, let alone if it's bad to begin with, which alcohol is. So a little bit of it, okay, resveratrol in the wine, and it makes you feel mellow and relaxes you, okay, it's proven scientifically that a little bit of it is okay, of wine, maybe one beer. But when you go to over and over, it's no longer as good. Your liver has to process that shit. It's poison and causes all kinds of things. Blood pressure, poison for the liver to handle it. If it's constantly ongoing, and then you become addicted to it, you can't function if you don't have that toxin in your system. And then soon enough, there's no longer anything good in it, even if there is some good stuff in it for, I don't know, resveratrol in the wine, but that is overshadowed by the hazards of alcohol. So you gotta think it through. And look, even food, you eat too much of it, you get bloated, you want to throw up, and you can't move. So even food is good for you, but too much of it is not good for you. So many things makes you feel good. Alcohol makes you feel good. Food makes you feel good. But just because something is making you feel good is not necessarily good for you. Many things in life could make you feel good. I don't know, people do all kinds of crazy things. Some people use drugs. Obviously must make them feel something that they keep doing it, but because it makes them feel good, so to speak, but everybody knows it's not good for them, beside the fact that it's illegal, it's not even good for them. So just because something makes you feel good, it's not necessarily good for you. You got to figure out what is good for me and makes me feel good. Because that is a fine line to walk on. Because even food that makes you feel good is not good for you if it's too much. Let alone things that are not good for you to begin with and you use too much of it. Simple. I don't think it takes me to tell you all that. Guys, everybody. And Michelle or Michael Lohan says, love this channel, just subscribe. Oh, thank you. Is it Michelle or Michael? It's Michael, isn't it? Now remember, we have a protocol here. Gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. It helps me out, not just in responding to your questions, to tailor it towards your age, experience, cultural background, a little bit, at least from where you're coming from, could tell me something, and traditions, and also your gender. So I properly could package it properly to that information. I'd appreciate it. Michael Lohan. Is Lindsay Lohan your sister? By any chance? Or your relative? All right. Murray says, I was say that I have turned up my volume and you are very quiet. Really? Am I guys guys? Let me know. It might be true because every time I try to upload it, the quality is not, the sound quality is not up. I have to download the video and then put it on my iMovie and increase the volume of it and then save it and then upload it again, which I will do, but it wasn't like this. I wonder what's happening. So can you guys help me out? Is the volume okay? Or is it my system or is it Moray's system? Now, Carl, Kia ora, Carl, I beat you to it. Says Morena Mehran, Morena, Carl. 27, male, New Zealand. Thank you for your advice. I'm also struggling with a breakup. I'm having good days and bad days and really trying to change my thinking. It's hard, but I'm trying. You see, guys, one of the challenges of breakup, I'm talking in one kind of a relationship involving heterosexual male with a heterosexual female. So just try to understand the concept and change it and turn it around to whatever relationship, type of relationship and lifestyle you have. So it'll be easier for me to just talk in one kind of a relationship and you guys just see if it's making sense or suitable for your type of relationship. So one of the problems that men have when they break up with their girlfriends or their girlfriend leaves them is that they don't focus on who the girl was. They focus on how the girl looked like. By focusing on how the girl looked like, they're focusing on their program in their gene, which is set to pursue woman, love woman, like woman, want to be with woman, which all turns out to be intimacy, and the final outcome would be pleasure. So they're focusing on pleasure rather than who is the one that they're in relationship with. Because who is the one that they're having relationship with is different than the intimacy, the pleasure they get from the intimacy with that woman. If you focus on the pleasure, you don't see the woman. If you don't see the woman, you have no reason to believe that this was a good idea to break up. Because of pleasure, what's wrong with pleasure? Everybody likes pleasure. The whole life is roaming around pleasure. We do everything for pleasure and pain. Pleasure is what we're seeking. Look at it. Everything you do is for pleasure. Pleasure of thinking, pleasure of accomplishing, pleasure of having power over somebody else, pleasure of sports, pleasure of having money, pleasure of studying, pleasure of learning, pleasure of thinking, pleasure of having tea, pleasure of everything you do is because of pleasure. But the problem is that you don't really know the types of pleasure. You don't focus on the fact that when you're living your life and something unexpected comes up that brings you joy, that is the extent of it. Joy. Be okay with it. But what happens? Thought comes into the mind. Thoughts comes into the game. And thoughts appears and says, hey, that joy was good. I want more of that. I want more of that. And because I want more of that, I'm going to memorize that joy. I'm going to memorize and record it into my memory. Because then I can keep it alive. With my memory, thinking about it, I'm going to keep the joy turn into pleasure. And when it does that, you're programmed to go after that joy again. Because it says, I want more of it. I want more of it, and that's exactly why I record it. And as long as it records it, you're a slave to that pleasure. And you really are not enjoying it thoroughly. Because you're not really appreciating and enjoying it thoroughly, you're recording it. Anything in life that you appreciate, you are fully attentive, you're fully into it, you're fully focused, like a level of meditation to it. You're fully 100% focused on that event, on that joy, you don't remember it. You don't record it. Because it was living in the now. Living in the now, fully focused on it, is never recorded. The ones that you remember and you want more of it are the ones that were joy, and the thought come into the picture and says, I want more of that. I want it all the time. It made me feel good, and I'm going to record how it felt. And by recording it, it turns into pleasure, and you pursue it to the point that it doesn't let you do other things. But if you focus on a event that is joyful, fully 100%, you will enjoy it the most, complete, and you won't have a recording of it. And it won't necessarily be your obsession, because you will know when it is, you will be fully attentive to it, and you will enjoy it. And because you think of sex to be pleasure that you want to remember, instead of treating it as joy and enjoying it fully when you're engaged in it, and you can't remember it, that's why you're drawn to have more of it, and you want the girl. You see, if you focus on, now we're going a little bit on different tangent and deeper tangent, but I think it's important for you to know. If you focus on the things that you've really thoroughly been one with it, fully focused on it, you can't remember anything about it. Do you remember how you made love to your girlfriend last time? If you were really into each other, if you were really, really enjoying it, you don't remember what moves you made, how it was, how many places you guys touched or kissed. You don't remember that. You just remember the whole experience of that. We had sex. It was great. But you don't remember the detail of it. Not in the way you... Look, let me go another example. Imagine a tennis tournament. Do you remember the last time that you were playing a good tennis, hard tennis, really good tennis? Do you remember how you were hitting the ball? Do you remember each stroke? Do you remember every part of it? You have a general idea that you won and some shots that you remember, but you don't remember every shot, every detail of how you actually made those shots because you were fully 100% focused and paying attention to create and play that game. When you're 100% focused, full attention on something, you don't record it. You only record the things that you're not fully focused on. That is why the thought constantly comes into the picture and wants to turn the joy, which is a spur of the moment thing that happens, unexpected, and it's very joyful, and wants to record it because he wants more of it. And that whole thing creates an obsession for you, and you keep going after it, spending your time, wasting your time. But if there is a joy that you're involved in and you're fully into it, you don't remember it. Think about it right now. Think about the intimacy that you had with your girlfriend. You have an idea that you had, but you don't remember really exactly how you guys started, how you ended it, and what you guys did or didn't do. You just remember it was pleasurable. In the basketball shots that you made in the last tournament, you don't remember the game, you don't remember where you went, who you passed to, what dribbles you used, and you just remember that you guys had a good time and you won. Or tennis, or soccer. You don't remember what part of the field you did, from which part you went to the other part, and you dribbled this way, and then you had this angle and you kicked this way. You just have an idea of one or two parts of it. Because you're fully submerged into it. You're into it, fully focused, like meditation. And when you're fully focused on something, 100%, you don't record it. And it will not become a handicap for you that I want more of it. But in the case of your relationship, you constantly want to create the beginning of the pleasure that you receive when you are intimate. And that you remember how it is to hold her, this and that, so forth. And you're focusing on that you want to turn the clock back and have more of that. So that is what you do. Pleasure is what you do, what you live for. And that is the pleasure that you're focusing on. You're not focusing on how the girlfriend was. You're not focusing on the problems that you guys had with each other. You're not focusing on the relationship. You say, I want that relationship back, but you don't, because if you did, you would have thought about what the relationship was like. You're not thinking about how the relationship was like. You're thinking about the intimacy of the relationship, and that is the beginning of it that you're focusing on. You want that. You're not thinking about relationship. If you really want the relationship, focus on how it was. And when you focus on it, so holy shit, there's so many problems we had and so many things. I don't want any of that. But you're not focusing on that. You're separating the girl from the intimacy. And you're focusing on the pleasure you would receive from, different, the intimacy and the warmth and the routine that I talked about, the mechanical process, the things you were doing together, the things you were sharing together, creating that routine, that order, and your minds would feel psychologically secure in that order. And then now you miss all that. You're focusing on all that, but you're not focusing on her, who she was, how she turned out to be, how she changed into be, how she was behaving and treating you, all the things that happened. You're not focused on that. You're not focused on the things that you were not compatible with. You're not focusing on the arguments. You're not focusing on the dissatisfaction. You're not focusing on the dramas. You're not focusing on the cheating, the lying, none of that. But you're focusing on the general idea of it. And you have no detailed memory of it, and don't bring that into the picture, and then you think, well, it was all hunky-dory, because you're not focused on that. Anyhow, I hope I make sense, because I'm trying to have a quick response to some big questions here, and we don't have that time, really. Aldro says, Mehran Jan. Oh, I must be Farsi, Persian, Farsi knowing person. Says, I found your work recently and it has helped me a lot, but I find myself struggling still. It has been 13 months since my first breakup. She has not said a word since. Why should you expect her to say anything? Why do you want to be in contact with her at all? Aldro says, I'm 25, male, born and from Sweden. Parents are from Iran, though. Oh, I see. Okay, that's why. All right. Listen, Aldron, some of you guys, as you can see, there's lots of depths that we can go into depending on the topic. And of course, this is not a place to turn it into a one-on-one Skype consultation session, because neither it's long enough time nor I can attend to everyone and do justice to their questions and concerns. So the ones who can, please go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Click on talk to Mehran via Skype. Make an appointment. If you make an appointment for an hour, I'll give you 2 hours. If you make an appointment for half an hour, I'll give you 1 hour. So that's the best I can do for you guys to make it more affordable, although the prices are very, very out of this world actually already. And we can discuss it one-on-one on what's concerning you. You can always also pay a nominal fee for smaller questions, not a detailed one, and send me an email and I'll record a question, record the answer and send it back to you, or answer it in writing. Of course, you can always buy the books, which helps you a lot about knowing yourself. The books are in print and ebooks. Prints are expensive because the shipping is included and they're heavy. And the ebooks, I've turned them into ebooks and turned a $100 book or $80 book to $8 or $7. So everybody can afford it from all currencies anywhere in the world. Me, My Psyche, and I is a book that I highly recommend. And if you have unwanted thoughts come into your mind, transient thoughts, you pick up the book Transient Thoughts and Me, which is a book pretty much second to none, simply written, but things that I haven't seen anywhere discussed. So, having said that, you can also reach me through a app called Callmart. Callmart. It's a company out of Tokyo that you can click on Mind That Seeks Truth. Find it. If the light is green, that means I'm available. You will connect to my cell phone if you click that button, and it will charge you $1 a minute for short talks. So having said all that, Aldro, if you can and if you like, you can make an appointment on Skype with me, and by all means we'll arrange it and we will explore it together one-on-one. And Aldro says, we were together for 2 years and she just vanished like nothing ever meant anything. I have tried to reach out to at least get some peace of mind, but she ignores me. Well, you can't get the peace of mind from her. You want a peace of mind, don't you? Where should you be getting that? Peace of mind. From your mind, not from her. You don't want a piece of her. You want peace of mind. It's within you. It's in you. You got to understand and see yourself, how you tick, understand how you're put together, and understand why you feel the way you do. Then things become clear and you will see it the way you should see it, rather than the way you illusory come to understanding of it, and create it based on your needs and desire. People and things are important depending on your need or desire for them. They're not important on their own. They become important depending and based on your need and desire for them. So if you understand the steps that it takes for desire to be born, then you got it. Why do I desire her? How can I stop desire? There's a video I have says, what is desire and how to stop it? How to stop desire, something like that. There are long ones, short ones, and you can of course watch them. Or you can make an appointment with me and we'll go through it together. And Gavin says, your audio is perfect. Oh, good. Okay, I'm delighted to hear that. Dylan Wilson says, male, 20 years, tuning in from Washington State. Oh, Washington State. Not state of Washington. You mean Seattle, the one that has the Seattle, Washington State. You know, I went to Seattle U for English. And it was an interesting experience. Then after that, I went to Portland, to Lewis and Clark. So Seattle always has some special meaning for me. And says, tuning from Seattle sounds good on my end. Okay, good, Dylan. Guys, remember, there's only 13 of us here. I thought there would be 13 million, but or 1,300. But 13 of us, please click on subscribe if you haven't, and click on like the video if you haven't, the streaming. And that will all help us. Make sure you share the videos on your social media. Talk about it on Reddit or anywhere else, any chat room about this channel, what it does, what it can do, what it offers, and the support that is available here. And also, if you've got people in, I don't know, different industries like mediums, news, radio, television, newspaper, or internet sites, let them know about this channel. If they would like to interview with me and put us on the map, we'd be grateful and appreciative. Or maybe your school, your university radio station, which we had a radio station at Lewis and Clark called KLC, and perhaps every university has one. And if they want to do an interview and ask their question, or have an open line for students to ask their questions about the relationships or breakups or movement of mind, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, and we can talk about it, and it'll be a pleasure, and it will put us on the map. At least it will help. And Michael Lohan says, male, 24, United Kingdom. I live in beautiful village called Rutson, beside the seaside. Audio seems fine. Oh, good. I'm delighted. Adrian says, it seems that girls don't care as much when breaking up. Girls are more selfish. Is it not, Mehran? Not necessarily. Some said that we have to be more selfish. No, that's bullshit. If any case, we both, male and females, all gender people, both men and women, should be more unselfish to be able to understand each other's need and identify. Because whatever you need, the girl needs too. Whatever you are hoping for, she hopes for too. And if some are selfish, well, that's an individual trait. Could be a man or the woman that could be selfish, not necessarily one over the other. Aldro says, I just don't understand how someone can cut someone out of your life so fast and easy. Because what's the most important person? Who's the most important person in your life? Let me read your question and address this. Says, I don't understand how could someone cut yourself out of your life so fast and so easily and never reach out, not even during a moment of weakness. It terrifies me how she was able to do that. Why should it terrify you? What do you think breakup means? That I'm going to break up with you, but I'll come back to you if you need me? No. And your understanding of breakup perhaps needs a little adjustment. And I want to ask you this, Aldro. Who's the most important person in your life? Who's the most important person in your life? And who's the most important person in her life? Well, the most important person in your life is you. Without you, nothing else matters. So ultimately, even though you want to be humble and say, oh, you're my parents and this and that, I understand all that. But beyond that, it's you. In relationships and everything you want to do, you're the most important person in your life. And she's the most important person in her life. She doesn't give a shit about somebody else when she knows what makes her feel important or good about her, what she has decided it to be. For her, it's her, what she wants to do. So when she makes a decision that she wants to go, why do you think she would care about how you feel? Yeah, some people do. That's an anomaly. But some people don't, because they want to go on and take care of what it is that makes them feel whatever it does make them feel, whatever they want to feel. Expecting her to actually think of you as being someone more important than her, it's like wishful thinking. Bottom line, you also would not and do not think that she's more important than you. You think you're more important than her. And if you say you do, you're wrong. You think that way because, you're horny and you just want the girl for many reasons that we discussed about. But beyond that, you're the most important person. You want her. All what you want her for who? For her? No, for you. So it's all for you. So you're the most important person, that you do things. Whatever you do in life is for you. So you're the most important person in your life. Wanting her is for you. So if you really agree, it is you that is most important person to you. And to her, she's the most important person to her. So when she leaves, you say, I can't believe, how could someone cut someone? Well, she's doing it for her because she wants to go somewhere else and be with somebody else and do whatever the hell it is that she wants to do. And she's thinking about that, not about, oh, I gotta prove that I'm a good person while I'm leaving him. So I have to, be there for him when he needs. No, she doesn't give a shit because she's looking after herself and what she thinks is looking after herself. So if you understand that, then you're not amazed. How could she ever do that? Because what? She's not an angel. She's another human being. As I said many times, gets up, stinky mouth, go get a shit and clean herself up and eat food, and she has all the needs that everybody else does. So she's no angel to think that, oh, she's beyond me, she's better than me, she's a goddess, so she must have a goddess attitude. No, she doesn't. She's a human being. She's looking after her own ass. That's it. You gotta see her for who she is. When they break up with you, then you gotta look at them as who they are, not as the pleasure that you were having with them, and you can't expect any wrongdoing or insensitivity from a pleasure. But she's not pleasure. She's a human being through which you get certain pleasures called intimacy. And that makes you feel good because you're programmed as a heterosexual male to pursue that and want that feeling. And that feeling comes through her, and then for you think that she is pleasure. No, she's not pleasure. She's a person that you can get to that level that makes you feel great, and you're programmed to feel that way and pursue that. So see her for who she is, not for who she was or how she made you feel. It wasn't her making you feel. It was your ability to feel that way in the presence of woman. Therefore, you're the one who makes things happen. So go and make it happen with somebody else, somewhere else, when it's called for and it's appropriate. And Aldro says, I understand. Thank you so much. Well, I don't know if you said it with that vigor that I just said it, but, well, I'm delighted that you did. And Nikki, with all those lovey hearts, thank you for that. I could use that. I could also use a little bit more tea. Gavin says, Mehran, sometimes do you get horned out? Horned out? What does that mean? And tell us, get the fuck over it. Yes, I do. I do. Get the hell over it. Attend to your lives. Pay importance to yourself before you think somebody else is an angel. All right. Edward Souza says, how can I shut umps ego? I Sammy X with his new boyfriend and I'm devastated. Before I see it, I didn't care about him, and now I'm dying inside. Don't die inside. We are accustomed to have pictorial with our thoughts. When you don't have something to put a picture on it, then you don't care. But when you see the guy and then you have a pictorial, then the thoughts form in pictures and pictorials, then of course then you would like to be the person who is in front of her, not the guy, and all the pictures would create more thoughts and the story continues and you go nuts. So simply watch the video that I have that is called, is the one she's going out with better than me or better than you? Something like that. And that will tell you why you feel the way you do. Because if I want to go through every video, because every one of your questions has a video on it. Hardly there is a question that there's no video on. We've got over 1,500 videos on this channel, and I'll be darned if I know why I'm not found, because we can have a solution for almost everyone's questions around the world. But look, as much as I appreciate it, we're only 16, 17 people on this live talk, which these are the answers everybody's looking for, I presume. Though we should have had like 2,000 people sitting here. So, but the support is there. So if you guys share the videos and let everybody know that we are there, this channel exists, they'll all be fine. And you yourself will be fine. Edward, look for it. It's called She's Going Out With Someone Else. Is the one she's with now better than me? Or is the one she's with now better than you? That title will get you there. Dinesh says, Mehran, any solution when we can't decide where to live? My partner only wants to live near her family. Oh. But I'm worried about isolating my parents too. 2 hours away. 2 hours away. Oh, 2 hours away. And I want to live midway. Yeah. If you live 2 hours away, it's good. It's too far maybe, but maybe. But if she lives right beside them, they'll always be interfering with your life. And she'll always be feeling empowered, because anything that goes wrong, they'll back her up. And they talk nonsense to the point that she'll say, yeah, you can't do that. You shouldn't say that. It should be your way, because they're her parents. So obviously they love her. And to the point that she might actually think, oh, yeah, maybe I should just break up and, be forceful and all that. I don't know. But talk to her. Talk to her. Say, listen, dear, this is what's going to be happening. Your parents love you, and you go there when we have a quarrel or some kind of a disagreement, and you're going to be talking to them, and they're going to feed you up and empower you and make you even worse, rather than letting you to decide and come to conclusion, and together we'll resolve it together and come up with some conclusion and common grounds. But instead there will be too much interference, and then I would feel like I'm dealing with 3 people rather than just you. And that's why I don't recommend to be living very close to my parents either. But we should be living somewhere that we would be independent from both families, at the same time in touch, and give them the respect and importance to be involved in our lives when we think it's called for. Otherwise it will be just a front against the other front, your clan against mine, or your clan against me, and or my clan against you if you're living close to my family. So that's gonna happen regardless. But it should be somewhere that we would just make time to go and visit them, not just every 5 minutes we can go and hang around there. And then pretty soon you become independent of me, and I become independent of you, to the point that we wouldn't care even to live together. So explain these together and come to a conclusion together. And Dinesh says she won't compromise. Then tell her, okay, that's a deal breaker. Simple. Put your foot down. And if she can't get over that and give priority to you too, that means she's not ready. She wants still to be a little daughter of the house. That's not a wife for you. So you got to both be independent while connected to your families. And there's wonderful things about being connected to the family, but too much of it and only one-sided, not balanced. And Gavin says, okay now everyone, wow, Mehran, a tea and the like. Yes, thank you very much, appreciate it. Give me a like, guys. And Danielle says, just wanted to say hi again. Thank you very much, Daniel. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, looks like we've hit all the questions. It's 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 57, 58, 59. It's going up, and 22 minutes. And it's about 1 hour and 22 minutes over than what I had in mind. But hey, we've come together all this far. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you'll have a wonderful week. And I hope to talk to you next Friday. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.